So it looked like Paige Beckers is finally getting a little reality check once again from the media because, ESPN just told it like it was. The best point guard under 25 is our girl, Caitlin Clark.
So ESPN today ranked the top 10 players under 25 based on ceiling. This isn't based on how good they are right now.
The haters have just gone into meltdown mode because of ESPN. The official winner of the title of Best WNBA Player Under 25 is Caitlin Clark. The greatest is neither the most well-known or just a well-known brand. On social media, the tears might fill a swimming pool.
So ESPN just dropped a list of their 25 best WNBA players under the age of 25, and off a quick scan, it looks like they might have...
Some fans are incensed. The stands of certain players are erupting. Numbers, however, are truthful, and Clark is seated over it. Would you award the top slot to someone under 25, or do you think Caitlin Clark deserves it? First, let's discuss the headline. The top WNBA player under 25 is already Caitlin Clark, who is only in her second season in the league.
Take a moment to process that.
Players like Cameron Brink, Angel Ree, Aaliyah Boston, Paige Buers, and many more have become the talk of the town. Nevertheless, Clark is ranked first when ESPN compiles the ranking. It isn't hype. That combines star power, impact, and production all at once.
We got it right. They got it right, y'all. It's about time. Coming in at number 1, numero uno, the head honcho, the GOAT, Caitlin Clark.
The haters are obviously incensed. They're saying this is all marketing, the league is overpaying her, or she hasn't played enough games. It's funny that none of those justifications can account for her dominating the league in terms of television ratings, ticket sales, and attention while also averaging high floor numbers. ESPN isn't solely to fault for their need for viewers. In actuality, Clark produces outcomes.
Clark. Due to injuries, Caitlin Clark has been limited to 13 games this season, averaging 17 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. But when healthy, Clark's impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, picks apart defenses with her passing. The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factory every time she's on the court, and her confidence spreads to the whole team. She's the biggest draw on the road of any WNBA player, so her effect on the entire league is huge. She is the league. She's not a needle mover. She is the needle, okay?
Examine her averages despite her injury. 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game in a short amount of time. That is an outstanding creation, not merely something sturdy. 8 assists in a league when some guards only manage to get 3. A floor general, that is. She is a player who alters the game's geometry when you include her firing range, which extends defenses out to the parking lot. Defenses go into overdrive as soon as Clark sets foot on the ground. Furthermore, that is an effect rather than a statistic. Now contrast her with the number 2 finisher, Paige Buckers. Without a doubt, Paige has skill. She scored 40 points in the game. She has a polished appearance and is efficient. She has lost time, though. Clark's stats are more explosive than hers. Most significantly, her influence does not have the same effect on the league as a whole. Paige has admirers. Markets are altered by Clark. There is a distinction.
Caitlin Clark's pick and roll mate coming in at number 3, the 6'5" center. Aaliyah Boston, I would take her over Angel Reese. I just think she's more talented and more skilled. Angel Reese does have a higher motor, but we talk about the size, the skill, the ability to pass the ball, pass out of double teams, play out of the short pick and roll, shoot the 3, shoot the mid-range, score with the left hand, right hand around the basket. I mean, Aaliyah Boston's a monster.
Aaliyah Boston comes in at number 3. Although Fever supporters are aware that Boston anchors the paint and is amazing when she is aggressive, her presence doesn't affect defenses the way Clark's does. Boston is the best in her lane, but guards must bring her the ball for her to dominate. Clark writes plays both for herself and for other people. ESPN ranked her at the top for that reason.
Sitting on the cake, she's the whole cake. Caitlin Clark coming in at number 1 as the GOAT. should. We're talking about 60 some odd records broken as a rookie, first team all WNBA, top 4 in MVP voting. Probably would have won MVP this year if she wouldn't have got hurt, but we'll win it next year. Don't worry about it. Caitlin Clark, number 1. Well deserved. I don't believe it's close. I don't believe there's anywhere. It should be Caitlin Clark like 1 through 5, and then we get to the next player. That's how I feel about it.
The funny part comes after. In their article, ESPN even acknowledged that she has an unparalleled impact on the WNBA overall. They stated unequivocally that she is the greatest road draw of any player in history. I'm not hyping it there. That is the league's admission of reality. Attendance rises whenever she goes. Promos from rival teams are planned around her games. That isn't typical for a second-year professional.
Generational impact is that.
However, there is a lot of salt present. You'll find Paige stands lamenting bias on social media. Because Boston is more polished, Angel Reese followers claim she deserves it, citing double-doubles and sporadic stories. ESPN's piece, meanwhile, is unambiguous. Clark sets the pace, makes spectacular passes that excite her team, and stretches defenses with her shooting. Simply put, that's the greatest under 25. Let's talk more about the Paige Bucher scenario now. Her case was killed by expectations. GMs assured ESPN that she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame right away when she joined the league. It's pressure. The next year, Clark makes an appearance, sets records, guides Indiana to the postseason, and garners national attention each night. Paige's strong rookie performance doesn't seem very noteworthy all of a sudden. They appear unremarkable in contrast to Clark's explosion. Although it's not Paige's fault, timing dictates that. Additionally, it was mentioned in the ESPN article. Although Paige is excellent, Clark's rookie season set the standard so high that it diminished Paige's own start. That's crazy. In most cases, the story is reversed. Veterans are used to measure rookies. Rookies are now measured against Caitlin Clark instead. That is the appearance of dominance. Regarding Angel Reese at number 5, that's roughly accurate. She has produced. She's tough. She has established her lane and rebounds like a machine, but she isn't altering her defenses like Clark does. No team is formulating a strategy to stop Reese from 30 feet. That's a must with Clark. Reese has value. Clark cannot be stopped. Injury is the main reason behind Cameron Brink's low rating. Healthy, she would most likely rank in the top 5. However, what if points are not awarded by the league? You must demonstrate it on the ground. Players like Camila Cardoso are no different. Talent bursts, but not enough frequently to warrant a higher ranking. Conversely, Clark was reliable from the start. And that's the reason why people go mad. She developed in a matter of years. She entered the league and changed its economy right away. Ratings increased. Record-breaking ticket sales were made. Games were shifted to prime time by ESPN. And now, a year later, she is ranked higher than any of the games under 25 stars. That is math, not favoritism. The best complaints may come from Boston supporters. They'll claim that Indiana doesn't function without her. Boston is crucial, it's true. Here's the catch, though. Clark needs Boston just as much as Boston needs Clark. They come together to form the foundation of the Fever. If you take them apart, Clark's skill set is more distinctive. Good bigs are out there. There isn't another guard with Clark's passing vision and shooting range. She edges Boston because of this. Not to mention that Clark is only in her second year. She's still not at her best. This is only the beginning. Where will she be in 3 years if she's now at the top? 5 minutes? For the other people on the list, that is the frightening part. Their hope is that she plateaus. The issue is that every piece of evidence points to her continuing to climb. Not even Clark coming in first is the most hilarious aspect of this entire ESPN list. It's the ensuing meltdown. You would think it was a crime against humanity to name Caitlin Clark the top WNBA player under 25. The online reactions of Paige Bucher's, Aaliyah Boston, and Angel Reese fans. You would think that the lottery was manipulated by ESPN. The problem is that Clark's ranking wasn't just based on publicity. She deserved it as her influence and stats are indisputable. Let's dissect it individually. Let's start with her ability to score. Caitlin Clark is more than simply a three-point shooter. She makes three-pointers from ranges that disrupt defensive plans. Other guards call it deep as they go behind the arc. As if it were a free throw, Clark draws up from the logo, forcing defenses to move well beyond their comfort zone. Her colleagues gain when passing windows and driving lanes suddenly open. It's more than just excellent shooting. That individual is causing the league as a whole to alter its defensive strategy. Let's now discuss passing vision. Her 8 assists per game were highlighted by ESPN. Considering how much attention she receives, that figure is insane for a second-year pro. She manages to hit rollers in stride, drop dimes to corner shooters, and zip passes across the floor despite the defenders swarming her every possession. Many players are able to score. Few people are really skilled at both creating and scoring. Clark is the best because she does both. She averages 5 rebounds per game as a guard. When you consider how frequently she starts quick breaks and tracks long rebounds by herself, it doesn't seem ridiculous. There are 3 stages to the game. She is already performing at a high level in the areas of scoring, passing, and rebounding. Add her intangible after that. Every night, she is the player with the most confidence on the court. The swagger is genuine. It spreads. Teammates put forth more effort. The noise level of crowds increases. The opposition is shaken. You can't quantify that value on a stat sheet. Fans of Paige Buehr, meantime, are praising her effectiveness. Indeed, Paige is a master of the mid-range game. Although she is naturally smooth, her mid-range efficiency doesn't change the nature of the sport. Although it doesn't revolutionize, it is valuable. Instead than merely navigating through systems, Clark's game is designed to disrupt them. The rating isn't close because of this. Clark is